Bible in a year, making it easier to understand.
It's the ultimate vibe shift, Steph. Like, we went from a disaster movie to a high-end architectural digest in 5 seconds flat.
Exactly. It's so jarring.
And we are back. Welcome to the Deeper Dive, everyone. I'm John, and that inquisitive voice you hear is my wife, Stephanie. We are hitting a massive milestone today. Day 40. Can you believe we've been trekking through the wilderness for 40 days together? And today, we are diving into Exodus chapters 25 through 28. This is the moment where the God of the mountain becomes the God of the neighborhood.
I love that phrasing because for the last few chapters, God has felt, well, distant, important, but distant. He's up on Sinai and the people are down in the dirt, and there's this huge keep out sign metaphorically posted everywhere. But then we hit Exodus 25, and the very first thing he says to Moses is, "Tell the people to bring me an offering."
But wait, here's the kicker. It wasn't a tax. It wasn't a Sinai entrance fee. The text says, "Accept the contributions from all whose hearts are moved to offer them."
That's the word teruma, right?
Exactly. Teruma. It literally means something lifted up or a contribution. And the modern mirror here is huge. Think about it like this. God isn't looking for a mandatory subscription service. He's looking for a voluntary yes. He has all the gold in the universe, right? He doesn't need their earrings, but he wants the heart that's attached to the earring.
Which, let's be real, John, where did they get all this stuff? We're talking gold, silver, bronze, blue and purple yarn, fine linen, goat hair, tanned ram skins. I mean, they're in the middle of a desert. Did they have a hidden Hobby Lobby behind a sand dune?
I wish. Moses, take a left at the cactus. The glitter is on aisle 4. No, remember what happened when they left Egypt? The Egyptians basically handed them their life savings just to get them to leave. This was their relocation bonus. And I think it's so cool that God gave them the resources for the relationship before he even asked for the relationship.
That is such a beautiful thought. He provided the gold while they were still slaves, so that they'd have something to give back when they were free. But the list of materials is so specific, especially the badger skins or goat skins. Some translations say fine leather or even sea cow skins.
Sea cow skins. Can you imagine? Some scholars think it refers to porpoises or manatees from the Red Sea, but the modern mirror for the exterior of this mobile headquarters is that it looked, well, kind of rugged. From the outside, the tabernacle was just a big, weatherproof, leather-covered tent. It was built for the road trip. It wasn't a porcelain palace. It was a fellow pilgrim home.
And that's the big word for today, Mishkan.
Yes, Mishkan. It means dwelling place. It's from the verb sakan, which means to settle down or abide. God is saying, I'm not just visiting for the weekend. I'm moving in. I'm unpacking my bags in the center of your camp.
It's such a shift in the context of the ancient Near East. Usually, gods lived in these massive, immovable stone temples in the middle of cities. If you wanted to see the god, you had to travel to them. But the God of Israel says, I'll build a tent that's exactly like yours, and I'll move when you move.
It's incredibly personal. But even though he's moving in, he's still holy. And that's where the pattern comes in. God tells Moses, make everything exactly according to the pattern I show you. This wasn't a DIY project where Moses could just wing it based on what he saw in Egypt. This was a blueprint from heaven.
And the first thing on the blueprint? The Ark of the Covenant. Which, John, I have to admit, every time I hear Ark, I just see Harrison Ford running away from a giant boulder.
We all do. But the real ark was actually pretty small, about 45 inches long and 27 inches wide. Think of a sturdy, gold-plated trunk made of acacia wood.
Wait, why acacia wood? Is that like the luxury wood of the desert?
Actually, it's the opposite. Acacia is a survivalist wood. It's hard, it's dense, and get this, it's insect-resistant. It's incorruptible. So you have this rugged desert wood on the inside, but it's completely overlaid with pure gold on the outside.
So it's humanity meeting divinity?
You nailed it. That's the modern mirror. The acacia wood is the us, the rugged, imperfect stuff that grows in the desert. The gold is the him, the pure, eternal glory. And when they're fused together, you get the ark. And on top of that, Ark was the mercy seat, or the place of atonement.
With the two cherubim, these gold-hammered angels facing each other with their wings spread out. God says, I will meet with you there, between the two cherubim.
Okay, here's the plain English for the Ark. Think of it as the verified blue check mark on social media. It was the official, God is actually here seal of approval. Inside the Ark were the 10 Commandments, the testimony. It was the physical contract of their relationship. The Ark was the proof that the deal was real, and the mercy seat on top was the make-it-right spot where God's presence rested.
And I noticed a really specific detail in Exodus 25, verse 15. It says the carrying poles must stay inside the rings of the Ark and never be removed. Why the never remove rule?
Because God is ready to go. It's like having your bags packed and sitting by the front door. He's telling Israel, I am a God on the move. I am not a statue you leave in a building. If you start walking, I'm already packed. It's about a constant, mobile presence.
That's so comforting, John. Seriously. For anyone listening who feels like their life is a mess of moving boxes right now, whether that's a new job, a breakup, or just feeling spiritually lost, God is the poles in the rings God. He doesn't wait for you to settle down to be with you. He's ready for the road trip.
Man, that's good. The road trip God. I'm putting that on a t-shirt. But we've still got the table and the lampstand to cover before we take our first break.
The table of showbread, or, as the Hebrew calls it, the bread of faces.
Bread of Faces sounds like a horror movie title, but it's actually the most beautiful fellowship metaphor in the whole tabernacle. In the ancient world, if you ate bread face to face with someone, you were family. You were at peace. The table held 12 loaves, one for each tribe, to remind them that there is always a seat for them at God's dinner table.
It's a standing dinner invitation from the creator of the universe.
Exactly. And then the menorah, the golden lampstand, 75 pounds of pure hammered gold. And it wasn't just a lamp, it was shaped like a tree. Almond blossoms, buds, and petals.
Which takes us all the way back to day one, doesn't it? The tree of life in Eden.
100%. The lampstand is a modern mirror for divine Wi-Fi. It was the constant, unfailing light in the darkness. But symbolically, it was God saying, I'm bringing the Garden of Eden back to you. The life you lost, I'm replanting it in the middle of this desert.
Wow. So the tabernacle isn't just a building project. It's a cosmic micro-temple. It's a little pocket of paradise that moves across the sand.
And wait until we get to the curtain drama and the high-stakes uniforms in the next segments. You guys, don't go anywhere. We're going to talk about why the colors of the yarn matter and how a set of bells on a hem could literally be a matter of life and death.
Curtain drama. You really have a way with words, John.
Hey, the desert gets boring. You got to spice it up. We'll be right back after the break to dive into the structure of the tabernacle and the high-stakes uniform of the priesthood.
We'll see you in a minute.
And we are back. If you're just joining us for day 40, you picked a wild day to jump in. Stephanie and I are currently knee-deep in blue yarn, gold clasps, and sea cow skins?
It is literally the most detailed home renovation project in history. John, I was just looking over the specs for the curtains in Exodus 26 while we were on break. It's so technical. The length of each curtain shall be 28 cubits, and the breadth of each curtain 4 cubits. I mean, my brain starts to do that thing where it just shuts down when I read too many numbers.
I call that manual fatigue. It's like when you open the instructions for a piece of furniture and you see 400 tiny screws and a drawing of a guy looking confused. But here's the modern mirror. This isn't just a tent. This is God's mobile headquarters. Every single loop and clasp is a piece of a bigger story.
Okay, help me out then. Because God is very specific about these 10 curtains made of fine twisted linen with blue, purple, and scarlet yarns, and they have cherubim embroidered on them. Why the cherubim? Is that just for the aesthetic?
Oh, it's way deeper than aesthetics. Think back to Genesis. When Adam and Eve were kicked out of the Garden of Eden, God placed cherubim at the entrance to guard the way. They were the keep-out signs. But now, in the mobile headquarters, the cherubim are on the inside. It's like God is saying, the garden is back. I'm bringing the sacred space to you, and you're surrounded by the very things that used to bar the way.
That's incredible. So when the priest walked in, he wasn't just in a tent. He was effectively walking back into Eden. But John, There are 4 layers of coverings for this thing. Why so many?
This is my favorite modern mirror of the whole chapter. Let's look at the layers from the inside out. Layer 1, the beautiful linen with the angels. Layer 2, a tint of goat hair. Layer 3, ram skins dyed red. And layer 4, the outer layer, is those sea cow or badger skins.
I still can't get over the sea cows. Moses, go find a manatee in the desert.
Right? But think about what that looked like from the outside. If you were just a random person walking by, you'd see this tough, leathery, dark, weather-beaten tint. It didn't look like much. It looked rugged. It looked, well, like it belonged in a desert.
Wait, so the gold and the angels and the beauty were all hidden?
Exactly. Here's the plain English translation for your life. True beauty is on the inside. From the outside, God's presence might not look flashy or Instagrammable. It might look like a dusty tent. But once you step inside, once you enter into that relationship, it's pure gold and heavenly colors. It's a modern mirror for how we see people too. The world looks at the leather skin, but God looks at the embroidered linen.
That's a 10 out of 10 analogy, John. Seriously. It's the Instagram versus reality, but in the best way possible. The reality is actually better than the outside suggests. But let's talk about the frames. Acacia wood overlaid with gold, standing on silver bases. That seems like a lot of weight for a portable building.
It was, but notice the silver bases. Each frame had 2 tenons, which are like little pegs, that fit into 2 silver bases. Why silver? In the Bible, silver is often the metal of redemption or price. The whole structure was literally standing on the price of redemption. You can't have the gold without the silver.
Wow. It's like every single physical object is a whispered secret about Jesus. But then we move outside the tent into the courtyard in Exodus 27, and the first thing you see is the altar.
The bronze altar, 7.5 feet square, 4.5 feet high. This is the modern mirror for security clearance. You can't just wander into the Holy of Holies. You have to pass the altar first. The altar is where the sacrifices happened. It's where the blood was.
And it has horns on the corners. I always thought that was a weird detail. Why horns?
In the ancient world, horns were a symbol of power and strength. Think of a bull or a ram. But here's the kicker. When someone was in trouble, they would run to the altar and grab the horns. It was a safe zone. It's a modern mirror for finding strength in God's mercy when you've messed up. Your weakness grabs onto his horns.
I love that. Your weakness grabs onto his strength. But John, why is the altar bronze while everything inside the tent is gold?
It's a gradation of holiness. Bronze is tough. It can handle the fire. But as you get closer to the center, closer to God's heart, the metals get more precious. It's like a level-up system, but for spiritual intimacy. The closer you get, the more gold you see.
That makes sense. And then there's the fence. The courtyard was surrounded by white linen curtains, 150 feet long. It was a boundary.
The boundary is huge, Steph. We live in a world that hates boundaries. We want everything open access and free for all. But God is saying, this space is set apart. You don't just stumble into the presence of the Almighty. You come through the gate. And there was only one gate.
Only one?
Only one. Blue, purple, and scarlet. It's a modern mirror for what Jesus said. I am the way, the truth, and the life. There aren't 50 ways to get into the courtyard. There's one entrance, and it's beautiful, and it's open to anyone who wants to come through it. But you have to come through the gate.
And once you're inside, you see the light. The very end of chapter 27 talks about the oil for the lampstand. It had to be pure oil from beaten olives. Beaten olives sounds painful.
It is. To get the clearest, purest oil, the olives weren't just pressed, they were beaten. Here's the text message takeaway for anyone having a rough week. Sometimes the beating you're going through is what's producing the light for your future. God uses the pressure of the desert to make sure your lamp doesn't go out. He wants a continual light.
John, that's so heavy, but so hopeful. The light stays on because the olives were beaten.
Exactly. And that light is what allows the priests to do their work, which is perfect because we are about to look at the staff that runs this whole operation.
The staff in their high-stakes uniforms.
You guys, you do not want to miss segment 3. We are talking about the drip of the high priest, gold threads, 12 huge gemstones, and the binary decision stones that basically acted like a divine coin flip.
Divine coin flip. I can't wait. We're going to take a quick break to let all that beaten olive theology sink in. We'll be right back.
Don't go anywhere!
And we're back for the home stretch. Segment 3 of day 40. And honestly, John, I have to ask, if you were in charge of the Tabernacle laundry, how stressed would you be right now?
Holy dirt. I love it. But seriously, we are in Exodus 28, and we're looking at the staff that runs the mobile headquarters. We've got the building, but now we need the people. And God is very clear. Aaron and his sons are the chosen ones, but they can't just show up in their desert pajamas. They need sacred garments for dignity and honor.
It's the ultimate high-stakes uniform. And I love how you explained that earlier, how clothes define the role. If you see a pilot with the wings, you trust them with the plane. These clothes told the Israelites, this man is authorized to represent you to God.
Exactly. And the first piece is the ephod. It's like an ornate vest or apron. But here's the modern mirror detail that blows my mind. On the shoulders of the ephod were 2 onyx stones. And on those stones, Moses had to engrave the names of the 12 tribes of Israel, 6 on one stone, 6 on the other.
Wait, so every time Aaron walked into the sanctuary,
He was literally carrying the weight of the people on his shoulders. That's the plain English for leadership. You carry the burden. When Aaron stood before God, he wasn't just there for himself. He was there for everyone.
that is so heavy, literally. But then it gets even more personal. The breast piece. It's this square pouch, 9 inches by 9 inches, made of the same gold and blue and purple yarn, and it has 12 different gemstones on it. Sardius, topaz, emerald. It's like a rainbow of jewelry.
And each stone has a name on it, one for each tribe. And where is it worn, Steph?
Over his heart.
That's the text message takeaway. A true representative carries the people's weight on his shoulders and their names on his heart. It's not just about duty, it's about love. God wants his people to know that when the priest is in the holy place, they are right there with him, tucked close to his heartbeat.
I think someone listening today needs to hear that. You aren't just a face in the crowd to God. Your name is engraved in his presence. But John, we have to talk about the Urim and Thummim inside that breastpiece pocket. I've read this chapter 10 times, and it still feels like a mystery.
You and the rest of the world. Urim and Thummim. The names literally mean lights and perfections. Most scholars think they were 2 stones or objects used for binary decision-making.
So, God used a coin flip?
Not a coin flip, a divine yes or no. Think about how overwhelmed we get with choices today. What job do I take? Should I move? Is this the right person? The Urim and Thummim were a way to seek God's clear yes or no in a world of maybes. It was God saying, I care about your decisions, and I will give you clarity if you ask for it.
That feels like such a hidden gem. We don't have the stones anymore, but we have the Holy Spirit and the Bible. It's like our modern lights and perfections.
That's it. And then there's the blue robe. It was one seamless piece. And the hem. Steph, tell them about the hem.
It's so unique. Gold bells and pomegranates, alternating all the way around. Bell, pomegranate, bell, pomegranate. And the text says the sound of the bells had to be heard so the priest wouldn't die.
It sounds intense, right? But it was about accountability. The people outside could hear the ring, ring, ring and know their representative was still moving, still working, still active on their behalf. It was a status update for the soul.
Status, active. I love that. And then finally, the turban, with that gold plate on the forehead that said, Holy to the Lord.
Holy to the Lord. On the forehead. It was a visual reminder that even our thoughts have to be set apart for God. Aaron bore the guilt of the offerings on that plate so that the people would be acceptable.
And this is where the modern mirror points straight to Jesus, isn't it?
Every single thread. Jesus is our great high priest. He doesn't just wear our names on a vest. He has them written on his hands. He doesn't carry us on his shoulders for 1 hour a day. He carries us forever. He is the one who took our guilt on his forehead so we could walk through the gate.
That makes this chapter feel so much less like a to-do list and so much more like a thank you note.
Exactly. God didn't just give them rules. He gave them a way to be near him. And that brings us to the end of day 40.
I can't believe we're here. Day 40.
We did it! If you're feeling the desert heat of your own life today, remember, God has already built the tent. He's already put your name on his heart. He's just waiting for you to step inside.
We are so glad you're on this journey with us.
Before we go, here is your text message summary for today. God carries your weight on his shoulders and your name on his heart so you can walk into his presence with confidence.
And your one action step for the next 24 hours. Identify one binary choice you're facing, a yes or no situation, and instead of stressing, ask God for lights and perfections. Ask for his clarity before you make the move.
Ask for the lights. We'll see you tomorrow for day 41, where we actually ordain these guys. It involves a lot of oil and some very specific ceremonies. You won't want to miss it.
See you then.
Keep digging deeper. Keep asking those big questions, and we'll see you in the Word tomorrow.